Hi Collective, welcome to the channel. I'm Crystal. So we're gonna get started on a reading. So I know the lighting I'm a little bit darker right now. I'm trying to figure out my my lighting, my setup, where I'm gonna be starting to do more magic, right? So I just been figuring out a lot of stuff this week. Anyway, it's kind of neat that I got a little shadow here. I've been doing a lot of shadow work, right? I've been embracing more of my shadow side, right? As I've been realizing that I needed that, right? And yeah, Tower, Three of Swords. I've recently went through a tower, a betrayal, some heartbreak. Hold on, let me get this. As lovers, I fell on the floor with a lover, right? But it's all good. It's all gravy, baby, is what I'm hearing. I don't ever say that. So that was somebody's spirit guide coming through. Because, it very much did level me up. This relationship, this past lover, even though there were betrayals, right? Like, it taught me my power, my strength, my courage. It taught me that I know that I deserve to be treated, honored, respected, loved correctly, and things like that. And I got to do a lot of shadow work within this relationship. Getting a lot of the stuff mirrored back at me. And I'm very grateful for everything, and sometimes, it takes your heart being broken to feel love. Like, I think I really was kind of like numb. Like, this is the first relationship where I actually felt like I was in love with somebody, right? I really feel like he opened up my heart, and that's what was so hard for me to accept, is because then when the betrayals were occurring, like, I was like, but no, like, I can't let this go. And I remember at some part in the relationship, like, I was feeling like there's no way I could ever, like, let this go, because it would destroy me to have to do so, right? But the betrayals kept going, right? And it was just, it pushed me to do more work and more healing, right? And yeah, and that's it, right? I mean, you realize with these karmic relationships or toxic or whatever, like, they do for you. Some people are so closed off to love that, and it's like, if you can't feel love, you'll miss it. If you're closed off to love, you'll miss real love right in front of you. And unfortunately, like, that's what happened in this last relationship. My lover was so blocked off, had so much pain and heartbreak in his heart, and he felt so unlovable that he couldn't see my love. He couldn't receive it, right? But at the same thing, it was like we mirrored each other. We trauma bonded, because I was the same way. And then it's like, and once my heart was starting to open up, and I was trying to show him so much love, and then I was wanting him to, and I was even talking about this in some of my previous readings, about how, like, I wanted him to love me more. I wanted him to show me more love, right? I didn't want it just to be physical, right? Even though we had a lot of passion and chemistry and things like that, and that was the first time I'd ever really experienced that before. So I was like, oh my gosh, right? But it's like, he activated my heart, but at the same time, it was like I had to go through heartbreak as well. And if you're not in alignment with, like, your highest timeline, and that's what I kept asking for, was for my highest timeline, right? I thought it was going to lead it to where he would do the healing and we could ascend together, but it doesn't always work that way. But yeah, look, he's an emperor here. Like, I know that this relationship put me in empress status. It got me to love myself. It taught me to learn the shadow side, and it taught me how to defend myself too. You don't get to know empress status and not knowing how to discern and defend yourself. Like, you don't get to know goddess. You can't be a goddess, right? And just letting people walk all over you and things like that. You have to learn how to defend yourself. Just, use your discernment, use your power, use your authority, use your shadow side, as some may call it, as needed, right? If you need to get into that to handle a situation, then yes, right? And so anyway, like yeah, not being controlled. A lot of these relationships, you know, sorry, bear with me a little bit when I had to just take a minute. I don't feel very well. I've been battling some things this week. So just stay a minute. So when don't mind my sound there. But so some things to know that I lost where I was. It's okay. Then they're moving me on. They're moving me forward, right? Okay. So these things are all about okay, I was trying to remember where I was. I'm not going to. I also, like, my sleep is all broken up and everything. I really need to figure some things out. I was even told by my doctor that I should not be breaking up my sleep like I am, so it's not very good for me right now. Anyway, so let's just move on. Enough about me, right? Maybe it's significant though. So the Emperor is coming out here, all right, and so it's about authority and action. This could be energy representing you, or this lover is at a choice. Tower moment. You know, sometimes you have something come in that will show you what in fact you're deserving of. So maybe for some of you, like, you have a choice, okay? Maybe for some of you, like, you know, we are seeing a lot of that, especially these ones that are getting very, very empowered. Oh, now I remember, right? Is that some masculines that are in toxic masculinity and then that narcissistic energy to the narcissistic to the empathic ones, it's like an empath needs to learn. This is what I was trying to explain before I forgot. An empath needs to learn how to have boundaries and not be a people pleaser, right? And a narcissist needs to have control. They need to have that authority because they, I'm not going to try to explain why somebody becomes a narcissist, but it all comes from wounding. It really does. It really comes from not getting loved enough when you were a child, really. It's just, you either go more empathic, or you're an empath, or you go narcissistic, but it's all to try to cover that wound, right? And sometimes it's having, you know, just a narcissistic parents, right? Very, very controlling parents, very insecure parents. Like, if they weren't loved, right, they need to feel that way to kind of exert their... So, like, in my past relationship, it was like, it was all gravy right in the beginning, when it was like I was subservient to my lover. I let him control me. I let him, right, because I was still broken. And I thought that was also a form of love and everything. But then as I was going through this journey and starting to evolve and awaken and learning my self-love and actually starting to feel love and feel beautiful, like, he don't realize he activated me. And then I was feeling this beautiful energy, right? And I was just wanting to get love more. But it was like I was coming up to his level, and I wanted us to be equals, right? And then it turned competitive, and then it started to be where we were out of balance, right? Out of alignment. And that's where he was supposed to do his shadow work as well and see me as an equal and not be dominating and controlling. But instead he felt like I wasn't loving him when I wasn't being subservient. Do you know what I mean? And that's never, you cannot like put a goddess back down. You can't stop her from ascending. So he actually was turning it to be competitive and fighting with me and feeling as though I wasn't loving him and everything, and then entertaining and getting and feeding his need for attention and love and authority from others. You know what I mean? It was like he was needing to get that attention, that love elsewhere, and starting to stray his energy because, you know, he wasn't receiving it from me, because he wasn't seeing it that I was wanting more love from him, and it was supposed to trigger him as well. You know, we definitely were in one of those contracts that the enemy infiltrated, right? And it's a big factor. Like, I know that, like, it's the woundings, right? Like, we have both of these heavily woundings. I cut off all of my family, and did my healing work. I went through my dark night of the soul. I isolated. I've been in hermit energy. I've been alone. I've done the work. I've came out, right? This beautiful Empress energy emerged, right, from the shadows, the darkness, right? Doing all of that healing, pouring that love into myself, doing all of the work, right? And it was supposed to trigger them to do the same as the twin journey, so often do that, but sometimes those infiltrators, right? And sometimes people just can't get past the woundings or cut off the people that are controlling them with spell work, you know. And when everybody hears that, oh, someone's doing spell work with black magic, they think that you have to be a witch, right? And that you have to be lighting candles and saying things. No, literally, it's with the fucking words. Like, people don't understand that. What the fuck is spelling? Come on now. People need to realize it's what people say. Like, I was trying to tell him so much too, like, your fucking mother, man. She's so fucking wounded. She wounded you as a fucking child. You can't see that. You can't see that she embodies a fucking Jezebel spirit. You can't see that she does invocations for you morning, night, day. She's constantly like, you can't just let her go. You can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm still a little bit passionate for whatever. But it's the same thing. Like, I tried everything to get him detached from his mother. I detached from mine. Doesn't understand we're fucking twins that we share, right? The same fucking things, right? Both had fucking cancer at the same age. Both had everything, but he can't fucking see that. So fucking manipulated and controlled. It's crazy how much these hooks can go into, just like to the mirrored, like, things that happen. Like, Divine was trying to show him so fucking directly, like, look, this happened to her, it's happening to you, it happened to you, it happened, like, every fucking thing was fucking mirrored with us the last couple of years. And still couldn't see it. I'm sorry, this is me purging this out. So anyway, these karmic contracts that these ones where the enemies have infiltrated, people got the better of them, the ones that didn't awaken, the corrupt twin flame journeys, as I've been talking about on my channel, right? And I knew that I was on this one, but there's been so much, like, I've been, like, trying to doubt my own readings. I've been trying to, like, tell myself, like, no, because you know how hard it is? Like, I know I'm such a fighter, right? And that's why, like, it's so fucking stubborn that I didn't want to leave him behind, right? I didn't. But, it's not going to bind me to the dark side. And I'm ascending and rising with my mission. And so there's new alignments coming in. There are new contracts. And there's other fallen twins, right? So there's realignments going on. I've been seeing in the collective. Spiritual divorces are now occurring. People are picking up that. Spiritual court has been in session. These things have been getting ruled upon. I've been already just feeling like so much restoration and energy. Like, literally just like the other day, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, why is it I feel this? But just like walking around, just feeling the lightness, right? I've definitely been restoring and not feeling all the darkness. Because remember I was saying before that you can't bind or you can't clear these twin flame soul ties, because I've been doing soul tie clearings, calm back my energy, all sorts of stuff, right? But I've still been feeling this stuff, right? Like, when I tried to escape this contract, like, I've tried multiple right? Because I've been feeling spirit energy for a while, but I almost didn't make it out back in January. My heart was breaking so much because I was feeling his pain, his everything, like, and I also knew that the only way I was going to be able to get out of this contract was in divine timing, when God, divine source, cleared this contract, because we were in spiritual bonds, like for some of you, because we were being binded to the darkness, right? Maybe it had to do with these cycles too. Maybe it was like maybe like justice or judgment or something just went down, where it was ordered for us to be free. Some of us were bound, right? So maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but it was just like, and I would like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I tell too much, but I want to help so many other people, like, understand, like, what's been going on. Like, that's why, like, I wasn't going to get on here and explain too much of my personal story, other than I was going to talk about spiritual divorces and stuff that's going on, the new alignments, the new contracts. Because I know some of you may be feeling guilty, right? Like literally, like some of these things came in simultaneously, right? And for some of you, it's like you have choices. It's not just that divine partner. Because there's some of you, you're like, well, if I was with a karmic soulmate or whatever, that wasn't my twin. Then it's like you could be looking for that one other person, that one other twin. And that's where I was for a while, because I was like, there is no fucking way that is my twin, being dark as fuck. There's no way. But then I finally realized, oh my gosh. So yeah, it's because of all the spell work, and you know, he keeps getting possessed and taking on the entities. And for a while I was like, well, maybe it's like in a way he's meant to be a part of my life, because I knew he was taking on a lot of the demons, right? He was taking on the Jezebel demons that are getting sent our way, and the Leviathan, and the Ahab or whatever. Like literally, like we could be fine in the morning. He could come home from work. I could look in his eyes. I'm gonna see that fucking demon in his head, like, you know what I mean, and have to battle that. Like it was just so much, right? And it's like so anyway, I was like, sometimes he could battle the stuff out himself. Other times he couldn't. Like some people just literally, they don't believe it. I don't know why he just cannot wake up and cannot fathom. Is he too scared? Like I don't know why he can't awaken to this. Like I just heard indoctrination, baby, because he'd have to be going against his mother. That's a Bible banger, Jezebel, witch, bitch, like. I need to stop. And I don't like to say that about anybody, but it was like I fucking knew it, right? I knew that she was scrying on me from the very, very beginning. And I remember crying my eyes out trying to explain to him how she ruined my first beautiful thing that I tried to do for the man that I loved, right? And it was on Valentine's Day. And I'm going to share this story a little bit. Like, I had never expressed my love before or even shown somebody. So I thought I would do something so beautiful that I wanted to really show him. And, like, it took us, like, 7 years before we got to actually be together because of all the drama and blockages and all of that. We really had to fight. I really had to fight to get independent to be able to have a chance with him. Anyway, so when we finally got to meet up for our first night together after not seeing each other for 7 years, like the chemistry and the passion off the charts. I'll never forget that day, right? That's when I knew. Like, I have never felt this with anyone in my life. Like, that's when I knew he was my twin. Like, that there ain't no denying when you lock eyes or whatever. Like, I just knew. I was like, oh my god, it really is. Like, and it was just like, it really is him. Like, I was like, no, you know, that's why I said, with as much as this journey, seeing how much we've had to battle it and fight and everything, I was like, there is no way he's not. So anyway, like, we took a picture, right? And we know we snapped the pictures in the phone. I have like thousands of photos in my phone or whatever. Well, this was over the summer. So anyways, when it was coming up for our first Valentine's Day, like, I can't tell you how many hours it's been scrolling through my phone to get down to try to find that photo, right? And to get to that photo and then find a way to print it and get it printed. Then when I got it printed, like in a weird size. It was a smaller size, and I'm looking all over the stores to find the perfect, most beautiful frame to put it in and everything. And I wrapped it up and everything, and I had it for him for Valentine's Day, right? So, and then we had to work or something, so we finally get off work or whatever, and we finally get together and stuff. And, you know, I lived like an hour away from where he did or whatever, but so anyway, we got together and stuff, and or that's right, he was living with me, but I finally pick him up from work. I'm really excited to show him the gifts or whatever, and but I remember I was like, should we do our gifts now or whatever, because he wanted to go out. Where did he want to go? He wanted to go to his mom's. So it was like, no, we'll do them later. I want to do them later. I just want to get to my mom's and stuff, because I had bought her something, some chocolates or something. But I thought he was going to give it to her, you know, shortly after, because he was already seeing her the next day. But anyway, no, we drove all the way out there, whatever, and show up just for her to say, oh, look, son, I got you a gift. So now she didn't know that we were coming by or with anything, right? But she had gotten him a gift. She had a gift waiting for him, had him open it up. And I'll be damned if it wasn't the exact photo in a bigger frame. And then she took it out of his hands and she said, or no, there was 2 of them. She had 2 of them because she had one for him and I, and then one to keep at her house and to put on her altar there. I knew that right then, by the way that she looked at me. There was no fucking way. Like, how did she know that picture, that time, that thing? That's when I fucking knew it. And I can go on to many other things. She'd trump every single thing. She knew ahead of time. Anytime I'd give him something, she'd go do the exact same thing, try to one-up me or whatever. But this was just the very beginning. I fucking knew. Like, I thought about it, like, the feelings and the intents that I'd been feeling leading up to it. But that was the first time, like, she just trumped something. And I remember I was so upset. And then we had to stay there most of the night. Like, we didn't even head home till, like, after 11 p.m., and I was upset, right, upon going back, and he didn't understand. He thought I was upset that we went to his mom's, and, you know, he was trying to start a fight with me. I felt like it was just ruining, you know, our Valentine's Day and stuff, and then, you know, like, he didn't understand at that point. It was already ruined. Like, I was crying, trying to show him the gift and stuff, and I remember him, you know, saying, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Like, he didn't understand. And that's when I knew then that, wow, this is going to be a long journey getting you to awaken spiritually. Like, you're really behind me, right? But I still took on that journey and everything. And you know what? To this day, he still doesn't understand. He still doesn't get it. All the times that his mother would trump things. Or I remember at one time when I was, like, begging him just to shut off his phone and to just have us have our time alone. And he couldn't do it. And she just, that was the biggest betrayal, and the biggest thing, and the third party was his mother. And he'll never see it that way. And you know what I mean? You know how hard it is to, like, I can't just say you gotta choose me over your mother, but he doesn't realize that she embodies the Jezebel spirit, and she's always been the third party or whatever. So anyway, you know, ultimately it's what ended everything too. You know, she wanted to keep being involved in our lives every single day, and, you know, projecting and sending demons and demonic things our way and constantly getting in the way. And then she's the one that came and got all of his things, and boom. And now he's lost me, our partnership, everything. Like, he's had ample chances over and over and over again. All right, anyway, I guess that was a little bit of my story. I'm going to have to do a whole nother reading. This is like 29 minutes. These 29 minutes is all I have available, is what I meant. And I meant 23 minutes, 23:03. These journeys are very challenging, but because they're constantly under attack. And that's something we knew. Like, that's why we've only ever been on a few dates, because every time we'd even try to plan something, stuff would come up, stuff would get in the way, and it's like, at first he was willing to fight it all, but it's like he got worn down. You know, he couldn't see the own attacks coming at us from his family, right? And it doesn't matter though. New contracts are coming in, so replacements, right? So these missions are not meant to be carried out on your own. But that's what I mean, is you have choices, right? So for some of you, like, you need to realize that every situation is complex and different, and just some, they couldn't, because of these people that were so close that people were not able to do. You know, his abandonment wounds are so strong that he could never let his mother go, because he was adopted too, mind you, which I've often said, fucking chosen ones, a lot of them, you know, your parents aren't really your parents. You were adopted by narcissistic people meant to destroy you. Same thing, you know, same thing with my family. Like, I know that I was taken. I fucking know it. You know, but yeah, family was on the run while my mother conceived and had me. Yeah, okay, right? I know the fucking stories. Anyways, God, divine source is always going to win in the beginning. All these did is just amp us up, and it may have gotten in the way of these divine unions or whatever, but that's what I mean. God had a higher plan, right? And they still serve their purpose. That's why for some of you, you had to go through some terrible things, because like I still wanted this journey, and it was like, even though I knew that he was corrupted and he was heavily getting controlled and he wasn't awakened and he wasn't to my level, I still took on this contract. Or I still wanted to be with him, and I will forever cherish the time that we were together. Even though there is much spiritual, psychological warfare and everything that I went through, that he put me through, it still awakened me. It still prepared me. It still got me on path. It still forged me into this beautiful empress that I am. And that's why I know I'm going to let God's divine source bring in a new contract for me, right? And moving forward, baby, right on path. And now it may have been just delayed everything that I wanted to create with my twin, and now it's like that's why these new contracts, and that's why I know that every single thing that I wanted to create, that I wanted to build, my foundations, everything is gonna be built, and that's the most important thing. That's why I came here, right? Because it was more than that. So this is such a beautiful time. Oh my gosh, like there's some of you you got to stop focusing on the twin. Like, remember the mission, right? That's why I wanted to put this out there, some of my story and everything. Like that's got like my divine rage, because if anything, I'm just more mad this delayed me, because this has been 4 years, but it's really been over a 10-year cycle, right? But I needed every single bit of it, and I know that everything is going to be made right for me for every single thing that I had to endure, right? And yeah, and I've got to focus on that, and that's what's going to get me, because for the longest time, like, I didn't want to leave him behind. I was worried so much about his state, but then I had to start thinking about myself and the mission work and everything, and how if we both stay bound to the darkness, then why are we even here? Do you know what I mean? So if you're awakened to the fact that you have a fallen twin and you're trying to hang on to save them, like, we've reached that point of no return. Like, you're either going to fall with them or you're going to rise. So for some of you, like, it might not even be up to you. That's why I said it's interesting how fast everything, like, whenever I'm told to go, when I'm told to move, like, I do it, right? But it was like I've always been guided back, and that's why I knew that if things kept going back and going back, that it wasn't time yet. Like I said, for a lot of you, like, you may have been feeling like you had to stay so loyal and all of this because you were in spiritual bound contracts. You were married in the ethers. You knew that was your person. You knew that was your spiritual spouse. That's why for some of you, you've just been so patient until the higher ups, right, ended these contracts, and that is exactly what is going on right now. And I know it's been going out in the collective about spiritual court and spiritual divorces and all of that. And I'm going to tell you what, when you guys feel these contracts getting signed and getting void and canceled out, you can literally feel them getting removed from you. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. When I was just walking home this morning, I was just like, it just felt different. Like, things are definitely changing. 29:09 on the clock is standing out. All right, I got like 20 seconds left. So anyway, definitely watch some surrounding readings, because this is the energy. This is what I'm going through currently. So this is what's going to be coming out in my readings. But it can definitely help whoever finds it. Love and light, guys. Bye.